everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at the first expansion for Earth, Abundance. And I know it's the first expansion because the second one about animals is on crowdfunding right now. But we're taking a look at this expansion here. Now, Abundance, when it came, many people also got an upgrade kit. I'm not going to really talk about that much here, other than to note they're really cool upgrades, but they require you to have another whole box to keep them in, which I don't know if I'm keen on that part. But let's talk about what's in Abundance here. So I'm going to show you, and then we'll talk about it. The first thing this game does is it adds a sixth player. Now the game comes with extra components that you will need for a sixth player, and you have to play with the expansion because you need the cards for it and such. And there's also a team mode here where you can have 3-on-3 now, or 3 teams of 2 with the sixth player. So there's some new things the game adds. One, it adds an 11-point token for finishing your tableau first, that you'll place over the 7-point token on the main board. But each player is going to get a whole new board here. There are now these seed tokens, which we'll talk about in a bit, but there's also a place for sprout storage. Now, the way sprout storage works is if you get extra sprouts that don't have restrictions, like it doesn't say it has to be placed in a mushroom, and you don't know where to put them, you put them here, and then these will be placed at the end of a turn. So after you've run all your abilities, then you can put these sprouts out. On your board, it shows some of these icons here where you can see, for example, this affects all, any player can do whatever it says on the bottom of the card. This one is your opponents are going to do it. So you're going to be picking your opponents, and they're going to get +2. Any of the other players, not you, will get +2 sprouts. And then this one here, there's going to be lots of cards in the game that will look at one of your neighbors, to your left or right, and so whichever one has the most of these, you'll get 1 sprout for each of that symbol that they have. And there's also symbols where you might have to choose an opponent. So there are lots, as I showed earlier, of new cards in the games, and they're going to do all sorts of various things here. Sometimes you'll choose an opponent like that one. A lot of them have to do with this. So these cards are going to add more interactiveness between players. There's also more ways to score, and there's also going to be a lot new kind of events, some that will be played in between turns. And that's not the only thing that's being added. We also have more setup cards, which of course, again, they all come with 2 sides, and is going to increase the variety in this game to the millions with all the new different setups that you can have. The last thing to talk about are seeds. You'll start the game with 1 or 2 seeds, depending on player count and setup, but you can also always turn in 4 sprouts for a key, or even more dangerously, turn in one of your leaf tokens, I guess if you feel like you're not going to accomplish one of your goals, to get another seed. And there are cards that will produce seeds too. Seeds can be gotten rid of to get a whole bunch of resources, 3 sprouts, 3 cards in your mulch pile. But the biggest thing that they can do, the new thing here, is germinate. Whenever you germinate, you're going to pick something. So let's say I pick mushroom, for example. I'm then going to turn over cards from the top deck until I find one that's a mushroom. And you have to take that one. So here's a mushroom card. I'll add this card to my hand and spend a seed to get that. And so if you're looking for a specific thing, this will allow you to use one of the different sections or parts of a card, and you can spend a seed to find it. And that's the stuff that the new expansion adds. One last thing I should mention is that it comes with the Germinate card features, and so these are any of the things you can pick. I picked an easy one, and one that you'll often say is mushrooms, but I could say one that requires, it has an even number of sprout tokens, or growth, one that needs 4+ growth, one that's in 2+ habitats, one that has a blue color, one that has a directional thing, something that has italicized, bold, or underline. Basically, it's almost everything you can think of, but there is a card for each player that shows you what it can do. Okay, so this is kind of a more stuff type expansion. So let's talk about the different parts of this. First of all, is the 6th player. I can take or leave the 6th player. I'm usually actually opposed to adding extra players to games, but Earth is a simultaneous play game here. The problem is, even though it's simultaneous play, each person does add a little bit more time to the game, just by very nature, and you're going to get to pick the action that you want to go off less often, and the action won't, the base action won't be as strong for you because you're only going to get it 1 out of 6 times. Earth is fine at 5, but I still think it's a best game at 3 or 4. It's really, really good there. So that's a wash, but hey, if you want more players, you can get it, and like I said, I'm not opposed to it. Then we have the new rule with sprouts. That's kind of cool. I really like the ability to keep sprouts, and the fact that you can turn sprouts into seeds is a pretty nifty thing. I don't know if sprouts were considered underpowered in the original game, but that you can get them is cool. We have an abundance of more stuff. You know I'm a fan of that. More stuff is fine. A big deck, especially like Wingspan and things, they keep the ratio of things the same, and I believe they have here. A lot of the new cards have to do with other players. You know, you are going to be affecting other players, but not in a negative way, and that's so I'm okay with that. It's not a take that style of player interaction. It's when I play this, you get different things. The one thing is you keep track of your opponents now. Well, the one sitting next to you, like, oh, you're planting a lot of mushrooms. I have a card that gives me whatever when you make mushrooms. I'm definitely going to play that card. I like that. So there's a little bit more player interaction. It's kind of pseudo player interaction. Hey, everyone gets 2 cubes, yay! But I like that it exists in there. The biggest change, of course, are the seeds, and having those seeds and being able to turn in sprouts for them, or occasionally a leaf. I've done that before because I'm like, I'm never going to get that one goal, so might as well turn a leaf into a seed. I've used seeds a couple times to get those extra resources, whether I need some to mulch some more cards, what have you. But seeds are best used for that germinate thing. What a powerful action that is, to be able to dive into the deck and find a card you want. This is very similar to a couple of years ago, the new Arc Nova expansion allowed you to do the same thing. So there's some similar thoughts here. And for people who complain that it's a big random deck of cards, yes, it has all kinds of things in it. Yes, you're pulling a gazillion cards in your hand. The ability to look for a very specific card is kind of nice. And I really enjoy that this game lets you do that. It's really fun, and I'll use it all the time. So I'm giving Abundance, the expansion here, a 9.5. Well, why not a 10, you might ask? The only thing that keeps it down for me is just the fact that I don't know that I would always want to play this with new players, if only because that Germinate action is a little bit longer, a little bit more involved than other actions, and it might throw off people who are new to the game. But that's it. I mean, for me, if I'm playing with people who've played Earth before, or you're pretty good gamers who can pick things up pretty quickly, I'm always playing with this expansion because I like the fact, as I'm building my tableau, that I might be able to find the exact cards I need, especially with the fact that I can turn sprouts into these seeds. So I really enjoy this expansion. I think it's a lot of fun. That's Abundance for Earth. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.